Rowan-VVA, Chapter 1067, Huntsville, Alabama.
Good afternoon. Actually, back in New York City where I come from, it's now evening, and I'm still on that time clock. And I know many of you who travel know what that's all about. It is my distinct pleasure to join you here this evening and my colleagues in Chapter 1067. This is only the second time I've been in Alabama. I landed in Birmingham, going on my way to Tupelo, Mississippi to dedicate a Vietnam Veterans Memorial over there last spring. But this time I came here, so I'm here for a whole day, so I can actually say I've been to Alabama and check it off in the box. I'm talking about checking off boxes. But anyway, I am proud to be here today to take part in this opening ceremony for this moving memorial. And I would like to take this opportunity first to welcome all the veterans in the room, and in particular the Vietnam veterans in the room. Welcome home. Welcome home. The Vietnam Veterans Memorial is a really distinct memorial, and I think I can really say that Maya Lin did one heck of a job when she created this thing. I mean, the simplicity of it, and yet the drama of it is incredible. The idea of putting all of those names just gives it such force. And you can see it, that whole theme now has been replicated in many other places. We have one in New York City in downtown Manhattan that's got 1,741 names on it. I just came back from California. We're in Sacramento at the Capitol. They celebrated the 30th anniversary of their Vietnam Veterans Memorial. And each one's a little bit different. That one's by town, and it was each name by each town in California, which I found fascinating. But the key to the whole memorial is the fact that it is America. When you think about the names on that wall, the men and the women, it's every race, every color, every creed, every ethnicity. Many of them, by the way, were not American. I have a friend of mine on the first wall who was born outside of Paris. I know others that were born in Lithuania, and Colombia, and Ecuador. There are over 400 and some odd Canadians who came across. Everybody learns when they grow up, oh yeah, all these people who ran away, went to Canada. They don't tell you about the thousands of Canadians who came across and joined the American military. Literally thousands, and unfortunately 400 and some odd of them are on a wall in Windsor, Ontario. So that the most important part of this wall is the names, and the fact that there's a story behind every name on that wall. There's a story, there's a family, there's disruption. Now, because of the draft and some other aspects of the draft, a lot of those men were young, very young. Compared to Korea and World War II, where the average age was 26 or 30 or whatever it was, they were a lot older. Many of them were married, et cetera, had children already. Many of the Vietnam veterans did not. They were single, young, 18, 19. I mean, the huge number of 18-year-olds and 19-year-olds who were on that wall is incredible. So unfortunately, their lives were cut short, but it's still, they had a mother, a father, brothers, sisters, whatever the case may be. And so each one of those names is a personal story that you can go to, and if you're related to them or even inkling to them, you can go to them. And they're on the wall by how they passed with their brethren, the men, predominantly men, some women, who they died with oftentimes. I mean, you can go to certain dates. I wasn't in country very long. I was there in July of '67, but I was there when they rocketed Da Nang pretty badly. And I noticed at least 6 names on that wall from that particular evening. 2 of them from an Air Force, 5 of them from an Air Force fire unit that tried to suppress an F-4 fire. So that everybody can find something about it. And what's really made it interesting now is they're putting the pictures, the faces to the wall. The Memorial Fund has gone out and tried to get a photo of everybody on that wall, which I can tell you is extremely difficult to do. Some states have done it. I don't know how far Alabama's gotten, but I can tell you it's amazing to me that some states were able to do that. Again, given the people who were on that wall and how they got there, I can tell you my own community that I grew up in Queens, New York, part of New York City. There's a little memorial to 9 men. The first one is my friend Jean-Claude Esnault, who was killed in '63. He was killed the week after Kennedy got shot, and he's on the wall. There's a Lithuanian on the wall. There's an Ecuadorian on the wall. There are 2 other Hispanic names. We have no idea who they are because we could not find any family connection whatsoever. They were probably immigrants who came from South America in the wave in the '60s and got off to the draft. Most people don't understand. If you came to this country and you had a green card, Uncle Sam can tell you, go in the military when we draft you or go home. Many of them did. I always had a friend of mine who I really kept getting on his case all the time. He came from Sweden. I said, how did you get drafted? People were going to Sweden, you came here, you got drafted. And it got even worse. He got drafted into the Marine Corps. Yeah, he had a tough time. But it really is a moving element of our history that people need to know, and that's why I'm really glad and supportive that the town is doing this, that the local folks are doing this, and that the kids are going to come by and learn something, hopefully. And maybe they'll see a name up there that looks like theirs or sounds like theirs. And hopefully they'll get some sort of connection to those people. So again, I thank you for letting me come here and join you this evening. I thank you for doing this. I thank you for bringing the wall to your city. It travels all around, and unfortunately, it may be the only way we're ever going to get the word out about what the sacrifice was that the Vietnam veterans made. So thank you very much.
VVA Chapter 1067, Serving Vietnam-Era Veterans. Never again will one generation of veterans abandon another. Thank you for watching.